Henry of VIII kept having a go on new wives because he wanted a boy to pop out of one of them, and eventually one did, called Edward. When Henry died, Edward became king, aged just 9 years old. Edward died aged 15, the youngest anyone had ever died of old age. He was followed as king by Lady Jane Grey. She ruled for 9 glorious days, almost a week. These were among the fastest royals we've ever had. After Jane came this woman, Queen Mary. And there really was something about Mary, but not something funny like Cameron Diaz with all dried spunk in her hair. Mary's something was religious intolerance. She had so many Protestants burnt at the stake, she became known as Bloody Mary, because like the drink, she was horrible. The next queen was Queen Elizabeth, who in the first of many such coincidences appeared just in time for the Elizabethan era. Queen Elizabeth I got a crown screwed on here in Westminster Abbey. Elizabeth I was a new sort of king, in that she was a queen, which meant she got paid less and sat on horses sideways. To stop persecution, Elizabeth allowed her subjects to practice whatever religion they liked, as long as they pretended to be Church of England when asked, like middle-class people do when they want their kids to go to a posh school. During Elizabeth's reign, British culture flourished, especially the world of theatre, which is sadly still with us to this day. The greatest playwright of the age was Will.i.am Shakespeare. It's often said if Shakespeare were alive today, he'd be sending his scripts to television and film companies. He wouldn't make them because they were so long and boring. But while audiences thrilled to the tedious drama of Shakespeare's terrible plays, some pioneering Britons were experiencing real drama by going out exploring. It was now the British got really into boats, by getting into boats. Sailors of the time were like spacemen, but on water, exploring the unknown armed only with an engineless wooden car called a boat, and a sort of basic paper sat-nav called a map, which had hardly anything on it, because hardly anything had been found yet. On maps of the sea, do they show the hills? You know, the little moving hills with the white bit on top?
The waves?
Is that what they call the moving hills with the white bits on top?
I think that's what you mean.
Did an explorer ever try to sail into the sky? You know, find a bit of sea that's sort of going up and...
No.
Despite the difficulty, Queen Elizabeth sent a load of sailors over the sea to nick treasure off the Spanish, and then to nick whole countries off whichever brown people were standing on them at the time. The first British explorer to do this was Sir Walter Raleigh.